All right, Bang Bang. Today is Thursday. It is January 13th. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. Free swim Thursday. Dante, Chief, myself. Dante, how are you today specifically?
I'm good, man. You still hungover?
I mean, I'm not normal yet. Tomorrow I'll be normal. But I'm close.
You don't look your usual self.
Yeah, I'm just...
No offense.
You had, what, 5 nights out in 4 days?
Basically. 5 nights out in 4 days, yeah.
I'm impressed, man. I got to tip my cap. I didn't think you had it in you.
I mean, listen, I'm not saying like I went super hard each night, but...
Dude, if you're at the lodge at 4, that's pretty hard.
That was the hardest day.
Yeah. On a Monday.
So I'm saying, like, in a not totally non-offensive way, I'm actually kind of jealous by how disciplined you are.
Yeah.
You don't go out a lot.
Yeah.
It's very, very hard to get you out. So when I see you out, it's like a holiday for me.
It's a shooting star.
And and seeing you out consecutively all freaking weekend was unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I just
Felt like we were at the Super Bowl.
Me being in River North that many times in a row, it's
had to be a special
solar
occasion.
eclipse.
Yeah.
It was. That's why like. Someone asked me the same thing with my friends if they were, because obviously they all came to the party Friday. They're like, "Oh, are they coming Saturday?" I was like, "Dude, there's a better chance of being 80 degrees tomorrow than them going back-to-back nights in River North."
I know, dude. I didn't get out of bed like all day Saturday. I was in shambles.
Yeah, dude.
I had a hard time.
Everyone you saw was like, "Here's a shot. Here's a shot." Like Jim Graziano, I had to fucking stay so far away from, because anytime I went within 10 feet of him, he was like, "Do a shot. Meet this guy here. Let's do a shot." So I was in shambles on Saturday.
You got to live by the big cat model.
What's that?
Well, but it's different when it's Jim's our friend.
Yeah.
So you got to take a shot with him, but like Big Cat's like he won't take shots.
I just have no willpower.
Well, you feel like an asshole.
Yeah.
You know? So
but it's also like they got to understand, if you did a shot with every person there, like you'd be dead.
Yeah, which is where I was living. I was in that zone of like lights are on, nobody's home.
Yeah.
So
Same. When you tried to rally the troops Saturday night, I was like, this is not happening.
Especially because it was prime bust your ass weather. Like it was, I mean, there needs to be like a ticker of like how many people fucking broke their shit.
Because it was ice. It was ice
bad,
storming.
Dude. It was bad.
Black ice everywhere.
It was legit bad.
What was so funny is right after you texted that you were going, you were like, "Are you going to come?" I was like, "Ah." I was really on the fence. Dave texted and was like, "Logan Paul's in town. Like, we got to go to the bar. What's your plan?" I was like, "Eddie just texted me." And he's like, "Yeah, like Silvana got on him to come." He's like, he would have said no to me, but he's afraid of her. And then he said, he goes, "Owning a bar sucks."
Dude, you're telling
He's like,
me.
"I got to go out again."
Yeah, he's telling, like, dude, I was like, I just don't want to get in trouble for like, "Oh, you guys aren't fucking supporting the bar." I'm like, all right, yeah, like wherever you want to go, I'm in. But,
Yeah, you're a trooper.
Yeah, but it's a great spot. Go check it out.
Did you go Sunday?
I went Wednesday, Friday, Monday.
What'd you do Sunday, Declan's?
No, I didn't end up doing anything on Declan's. I wanted to watch the soccer game there, but they were having issues like getting the ESPN Plus stream in a quality way, so I didn't just like, I was in an Uber on the way there and had the Uber turn around and come back and drop me off my apartment. So like I can't not like watch the game.
Got it.
So, but yeah, shout out Nottingham Forest, big dub for the Tricky Trees.
There you go. Shout out Nottingham Forest, whatever the hell that is. I got something for you actually.
I mean, is it more?
Is it another shitty documentary?
Wait, hold on.
This is fucked up.
Is it more Georgia shit talk? That was a great tweet, by the way.
You like that?
I didn't.
I was the only fucking guy at the bar that had Georgia.
I see. I don't believe that.
As Chief.
I think that's accurate.
It felt like the whole world had Georgia.
Kareem was on him, and he cashed out the first chance he got once they worked out.
Well, it didn't look good.
They looked horrible. Like,
Yeah.
they looked outmanned. Like they couldn't get any pressure. Fucking Stetson Bennett was getting fucking under duress every it was bad.
Both ways. Have you seen a game where there was that much pressure on both sides of the ball? Like those quarterbacks had no time at all. It was like every fucking snap was like a 2-man blitz, and they were bringing like D-backs.
I thought Bama did a decent job holding Georgia back, but I don't know.
I don't know. Going from watching like the Michigan game a few weeks ago and then just watching 2 SEC teams play balls out like that, it is night and day. Yeah. The speed on that field on Monday was like fucking out of control.
For sure.
Yep.
Well, it's just the only dog guy in the office took the dog, so.
Yeah.
I moved the line. Because I was like, if anything
Which is absurd. They all tailed White Sox Dave.
He was
the first guy to move the line.
Yeah.
He's like, taking Bama -6. And I was like, what? It
was a rat line. I mean, that's why, like, so I was in.
Oh, it was a big time rat.
I was in Florida for it, and we went to this sports bar Gaz told me to go to. And he ghosted me, by the way. He pulled an ad.
Wow, that was a ricochet, unneeded ricochet shot.
Yeah, so we're at this bar, and it was everybody had Bama.
Oh, yeah?
And, I mean, everyone said the same thing. They were getting points. Like, how could you pass that up?
Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy that they won.
But good for you. Good win.
Yeah, I was pumped. No, but that's not what I have for you. I have yourfuzzy.com/dog. Do you know what that is?
Do you know what this is?
I do know what it is.
Yeah.
I listen to Dog Walk.
Yeah. Wait, say that again?
Yourfuzzy, YOUR, fuzzy.com/dog.
Why is this for me?
Because
you're a dog
it's a
guy.
telehealth service for pet parents that offer 24/7 access to personalized pet care from veterinarian professionals. I know you got the dog. You're a big dog guy, and then you obviously got Lola to take care of. Didn't you drive like 20 hours for like a surgery or something?
Wow, you have good memory.
Yeah.
He's got the best memory of all.
We drove to Philly.
Yeah.
She had to have a spinal, the opposite of like a fusion. They like
separated it.
Yeah, but she's like a new dog.
Really?
There's like 2 guys in the country that do this. One of them's in Oklahoma City. The other's in Philly. Cheryl's from Philly, so she was like, let's go to Philly instead. Yeah, we drove out there this summer, and I thought she was going to take a few days to recover. She was like hours later, like brand new dog.
But that's why Fuzzy's good, is because you could get someone 24/7, because I'm sure you know what it's like.
Do they come to you?
No, it's like a Zoom type deal.
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. So like you have this mystery. Like I go through this with George.
It's a live chat.
This week,
virtual.
This is brilliant.
Yeah, you say the symptoms. They like kind of talk you through it, and it's like a layer between like going to the vet and being like, I'm just really worried about my dog. So now this takes care of that for you.
Which is your dog like a basket case when you take him to the vet?
It's funny. Like he's only gone to one vet his entire life, and there's 2 vets there. There's a girl and a guy. He fucking hates the guy. And like when he was a little puppy, like the first vet visit, so he's probably like 13 weeks old. He growled at the doctor. Like he had been with the techs playing puppy. Doctor walks in, growls at him, and like runs underneath like my folding chair that I was sitting in. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then still to this day, anytime he sees that guy, hates him. Dr. Miller, shout out Dr. Miller, the girl, the woman, he loves her. So like I don't know what it is. I've seen him growl. Like I've had him for 3 years, 3 times. 2 of them have been at that vet.
Maybe he's like the vet in Beethoven. Where behind the scenes he's
jabbing them or something. Yeah.
He's rough. No offense to your vet.
So from everyday questions to middle of the night emergencies, Fuzzy has the answers pet parents need through live chat and virtual vet consultations available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Fuzzy can answer your pet questions, big and small, urgent, and every day. Fuzzy can also recommend the exact right products for your pet, all of which are handpicked by their established team of veterinarian professionals and available at discounts exclusive to Fuzzy members. From getting your pet's diet just right to meeting their middle-of-the-night needs to finally figuring out what makes their breath smell that way, nothing is too big or small for a quick Fuzzy call. Right now, Fuzzy is offering our listeners a free 7-day trial membership. Go to yourfuzzy.com/dog to sign up today. That's free 7-day trial at yourfuzzy.com/dog. And for a limited time, Fuzzy is also offering a special discount of $20 off any of your pet product needs, pet meds, supplements, food, and more with promo code DOG. That's yourfuzzy.com/dog. for your free trial of Fuzzy with access to 24/7 personalized pet care and vet-recommended products. Go check out Fuzzy. All right, so the documentary, I'm getting shit. I was getting
Defend
I
yourself.
was getting slandered all over the fucking internet. Not even on the internet, in the text groups. So we watched this doc called Closed for Storm that was on Amazon Prime. And it was about the Six Flags New Orleans that closed after Hurricane Katrina. So something about me, like I said, I think I told you, like it was just my recommendation. I just found out about it a couple weeks ago. I'm like obsessed with abandoned places. Have I ever talked about that on here before?
Not directly, but like I know that about you.
Yeah. I just like, I don't know, there's something eerie, there's something weird to me that like makes me like I could go on those YouTube videos and watch people walking through like abandoned malls like all day.
Dude, you don't get scared.
Oh, I get scared. That's
He
why I'm
likes
not
that.
doing it myself.
Yeah.
I'm
Dude,
just watching the videos.
Like when they were walking around with flashlights at night, I was like, "What the fuck are these people?
Yes.
Like, what are they thinking?"
And I'm like,
Yes.
why are they there at night? You could have done the
Yes.
same shot during the day. Like
well,
you're
Exactly.
trying to get murdered.
Exactly.
So that's the big thing is this Six Flags. It was abandoned, and like me and my we would always be like, dude, that's fucking crazy. Like because
So you
conceptually,
knew about this place.
I not only knew about it, I've been there. Not
What?
actually inside, but we had our formal for our frat in New Orleans, and I made the car mandatory stop there
You're so
I
weird.
wanted to see it.
You're No, so you didn't.
Yeah, I
weird.
did. And like, we just
Why
like,
didn't you go in if you went all the way there?
Well,
Was it locked
because they
up?
were like, "What the fuck, dude? We don't want to do this." So I didn't want to hold them up. And B, like, yeah, it's like locked up. You know what I mean? And I'm not scaling fences to get in there and then walk into a fucking pond and then there's a gator or some shit. You know, it's
Dude,
a
that old lady
You
at the
know-
end got in there, so I think you could have got in there.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know it's a lot scarier than a gator?
What?
Whatever human beings are walking around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no,
dude.
that's a thing there because obviously, you know, when the floodwaters took over New Orleans, like so many fucking animals and like gators and shit were misplaced.
Yeah.
And like I've seen, obviously I've told you I watch videos. I've seen like urban explorers like go through there and they're like really hesitant to go like in the water areas of the park because I mean it's a perfect spot for them. Nobody goes
Big
there.
time, yeah.
And it's just underwater.
Nah, no fucking thanks.
But yeah, so I've always been fascinated by this place. However, the documentary was not good.
Thank you.
It was not good.
Yeah. And I do think it could have been good.
It definitely could have been good. I did some research after because, like I said,
You needed to defend yourself.
yes, and I'm interested in this stuff. So I don't know if you ever watched. It's called like Defunctland on YouTube. It's a pretty good. You seen that, Harry?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah. So it's
He's sneaky, very weird too.
is he?
Yeah.
That's good.
What
That's
is
why he's
this
here.
though?
So it's a YouTube channel about like basically amusement parks and like some of them abandoned, some of them not. It just tells a story about them, you know. And when I saw that, pretty much what those voiceovers were just his videos cut and put onto there. I was like, oh man,
Yeah.
like this is not like this is nothing.
Yep.
Like this is not. Well done. And I looked it up, and it looked like it's a young filmmaker who, I'm sure is very proud of it, and got it on Amazon. That's an accomplishment in and of itself. And but yeah, it just wasn't. Good. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
I said to Chief before you walked in here, I was like, if it had ended in a positive way, like if they were like it's slated to break ground in 2024 or like be rebuilt or whatever, then I would have at least been like, all right, this is cool, this is relevant, something's gonna happen. But when they end with the last RFQ was in 2010, like nothing's happened in 10 years.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck did they make this for?
Yeah, but that's also it's also eye opening that nobody's fucking done anything at this park for 15 years.
Yeah.
It was
That's crazy.
It was the most telltale story of local politics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing. Like, I'm looking at it, and it's like, we've just seen the Bears go like this thing with Arlington. They're looking for the site. Superdome's an old stadium. Like, it seems like there could have been a pitch like, hey, like we'll make it a park, a stadium, a music thing, and like all the things where they teed it up in the beginning were like, hey, it's in this part of New Orleans, and it's right by the highway, but it's out of the downtown. They have land, they have parking. They're, it's dry. They said it was dry according to the Army Corps of Engineers. So like a good place to build on, which is kind of rare in New Orleans. The fact that they haven't been able to turn that into anything for 15 years. And they're like, there are real victims of this. Like those people who are like, yeah, like the whole city's bounced back except for us. Like we bought these houses, pre-park, and we voted to approve this park based on our property values going up. And he's like, we're still underwater. Like the rest of the city has recovered from Katrina from like a real estate market perspective, but not East New Orleans. So like that is shitty for those people, and they just can't get out of their own way. It's really like, it's unbelievable.
What was really fucked up to me was that they let Six Flags out of the lease for $3 million. And I mean, that is like, talk about fucking escaping unscathed. Like to just cut and run like that. Like you said, like to leave like the neighbors in blight.
To be
like
fair, they got fucked too.
Yeah.
I mean,
but dude, they collected a shitload of insurance money. Like the lady said, they were going to close that park anyways. They were looking to downsize. They closed Astro World in Houston. They closed the one in Kentucky. This was another like,
smaller market
revenue loss. So,
but they did make money that one year. I think it was 03.
In the bounce back, because obviously you get Six Flags, you get the license, you get Bugs Money, you get all those fucking.
I think they said they made what they profited $13 million.
Dude, I was shocked. Like when they said they did 26 million in revenue and profited 50%.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah.
I was stunned. I mean, just out of the gate though, the Jazzland opened in 2000. They were fucking sucking wind a year or two into it.
2002. So like that's the other thing about this documentary, where it's like that the Jazzland opened officially in 2002. Year one was good. Year two is a disaster. Year three they sell to Six Flags, and then by 2005 they close for the storm forever.
Insane.
So like you're making a documentary about a park that was open to the public for 3 years. Like who fucking cares?
It's crazy.
Right. I'll tell you who cares. That fucking
long hair guy.
The guy who operated the rides with the long hair, he fucking cared.
Yeah.
That guy, he was looking for like a Nobel Prize. He's like, we had this quadriplegic and it was my decision, and there was this line forming and everybody thought like, what are they doing? And I made sure she had a good time and like probably changed her life.
He was like standing ovation from everybody.
He was like, it was like he was waiting, like, where's the applause now? Where's my medal?
Well, he was just showing what the park meant to people out there.
Dude, that guy. And the other guy, too.
I know, and that's the biggest problem with it. That was one of the biggest problems with the docs, besides me seeing that they cut, like, basically the whole tour from Defunct Land, was, like, the interview subjects just had nothing besides the one guy with the glasses who worked there.
Yeah.
He was interesting.
Yeah, but not on purpose.
Sure, but, like here's the coolest thing about it was they paid them till April.
Yeah,
that was very nice.
That was nice.
That was
you gotta
amazing.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
amazing. 8 months they paid everybody. They kept everyone on payroll with benefits. Yes. I mean, and the really shocking thing about that to me, and I'm probably gonna get killed on this because people love to call me out for being stupid, but I'll admit I had no idea that Dan Snyder was involved in that.
I didn't know
shit.
that either.
Mm-hmm.
I've always wondered where that fucking guy got his money. He definitely didn't get it from Six Flags.
No, he was just like he was like a late to the party. Like
he was CEO though at one point.
Yeah.
I remember.
No wonder they lost money as a fucking company.
Yeah.
But I was shocked that he played a role in actually taking care of employees like that.
Well, they said his name, and I'm like, Dan Snyder. Like, and then they showed they slid in like a still frame. I'm like, what?
I know.
I was assuming it was a different Dan Snyder.
Hey, let's take a quick break here because we got to talk about innovativeadd.com. Listen, if you're going to get your ADHD medication refilled, there's no better spot to go than the Innovative.
The best.
Yeah. It's the best. Like I've been saying, they have a nice big clinic over there on Diversey and Ashland. And it's important to note that it's not an online-only refill service. This is a real medical clinic, so it's nice that it's there. It's nice that it's here for Illinois residents.
Yep, for Illinois residents, takes insurance. It will make your life, if that's something that you have to do, go check them out. I promise they'll make your life easier with managing your ADD and maybe see, like you said, you had a great experience there with the COVID testing. So check them out. InnovativeADD.com. It's a great place to start. And then,
Yeah, providers are compassionate, kind. They remove the frustration from ADHD management, and it's actually easy to get appointments and refills with Innovative ADHD. So once again, innovativeadd.com. Go get it, and they take insurance. Make sure you're on that, and you must be an Illinois resident. So go to innovativeadd.com if you need your prescription filled. All right, let's hop back into the show.
I guess like my thing, like I agree with you, Dante. Like that documentary, it should have been about local government. Like use the park to tell the story about how things can get. And you had the guy Troy Henry who was running for mayor.
He was great.
He was, yeah. I really enjoyed it. Like, but I wish they had turned it like the pitches, like to tell the story about the closing. Like that to me, really, you could have told the whole story of Jazzland and that since it was only open for 3 years. Could have told that part in 15 minutes. Then shift it to be like. Then we have these 5 competing things trying to get this done. We got an RFQ. We got, this one's going to cost this. And then like Shark Tank style pitches and then go back and like show like, okay, like this is fucked up. That's fucked up. And just like walk us through the whole process instead of like 10 minutes at the end where they have like this recording of a meeting about what to do. And like, oh, we're eliminating 2 of the bids and we're just going to go with the top 3 based on the point system. Like tell me like, so the number 1 pitch had like 449 points. I'm like, what do those points mean?
Dude,
points for what?
It was just so indicative of how government runs. You have people that have no fucking idea how businesses run, how funds are raised. Like the first thing, the fact that they were like, we're going to grade these proposals based on what we think is most appealing for the area. So basically like unicorns and rainbows. And then round 2, we're going to inspect like how they're going to raise the funds for these projects. That should be the complete other way around. Like you should have to show money in a fucking bank account. Like, hey, we're serious about this. We have the means to do this. Not like sell them on a dream. Like that poor lady, Tanya, whatever, who spent years, 20 years of her life basically like putting together a team to actually get this place up and running. I mean, she just got cut out because some asshole was like, well, if we take 3, we have to take 4, if we take 4, we have to take 5, and I think 5's too many, so I move to cut 3 and 4, or 4 and 5. Let's just take the top 3. And everyone being lazy fucks are like, okay, yeah, so let's cut the 3, and then nothing goes anywhere. Yeah, because they're all corporate. They just want, tax dollars to fund their projects so they can make money.
Well, and it's like the other thing where it's like they do the big pitch and it's like, what should it be? And it's like, well, we want it to be this vibrant, like
this was great
tourist attraction, bring people in to do things like bird watching. It's like, what? Like,
yeah, that's city
like
politics
what?
in a nutshell.
Yeah. So it was just like it never made any sense, but it's like. It could be an interesting like subject matter, but the filmmakers just did the
best bet in my mind is, I mean, obviously a complex like that would be great, but just do Amazon. I mean, like you got from what I understand, that's not like an area where like people are at.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So yeah, you might as well just do Amazon.
Yeah,
create some jobs for the fucking,
right.
For the
and that would be a lot better than some decaying old park.
Yeah,
where they got graffiti and gators and who knows.
But see, and that's why I'm so fascinated by this stuff. And I know you guys laugh at me, but like, you don't think at all like it's like wow, looking at that calendar that was still the same month, looking at that schedule that was for the month
time
August
capsule.
20, yeah,
time capsule exactly.
Like to me, I was just like wow,
and just like the old computers, like they're all
old TVs that were like this big.
Yes. Yeah. And then those people have to drive past that sign every day that still says closed for storm on it from 2005, like the worst fucking day of their lives probably. It's crazy.
It is
crazy how like shit can stay still like that.
It was also like the part where they showed like the damage from the flood. It's like I remember that, obviously. I think we definitely all remember it, but it was just like, oh yeah, like so fucking bad. Like that was it was unbelievable. So the fact that it was, like that brought you back to like, I can't imagine like living across the street, but yeah, like do the Amazon thing. The other thing it really made me think about is that fact I love is that the earth just like reclaims things. So like if it's left, what?
Like,
yeah. So like how overgrown it was, how in decay it was.
Oh yeah.
So that there's that fact where it's like if human beings just like evaporated from planet Earth like that, like it was in the leftovers, there's the two structures that would let like an alien civilization know that there was like a intelligent race here, and it would be the Egyptian pyramids would survive and Mount Rushmore, and that's it.
not the Great Wall.
No, the Great Wall requires a lot of maintenance.
Really?
So they say like it would get overgrown, like roots would grow into it, and it would like over like 500 years, it would just, decay and crumble.
Dude, think about it. That's basically Mount Rushmore is like basically the Sphinx
Yeah.
in Egypt. I mean, it's 100% what happened with that whole civilization.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that's way older than 10,000 years.
Way older.
Yeah.
They say, so you know the Sphinx, right?
Kind of.
The Sphinx in Egypt, where it's like a human head and a lion body.
Okay.
Okay.
I said cat, but it's like
Did you see they just found a valley of smaller sphinxes?
Yes, dude. Yes. I fucking love Egypt. And so like
How are they still finding like new shit there?
I think the earth is just so big, and it's like it's hard to get like the permits, and I think that
So Rizzo's there right now. His wife wanted to go there for her
Egypt?
birthday. He's been sending. He knows I'm like obsessed with this shit. He's been sending me videos of the tours. Like you can go in the tombs and shit.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, dude, you're cursed. Like, don't fucking come home. You're fucking cursed. He's like, what do you mean I'm cursed? I'm like, look up pyramid curses. Like,
but they do like, well, so many people were dropping dead because there was like mold and stuff in it. Like there were bacteria that had been like untouched for thousands of years, so we had no immunity to it. So like when we finally like started, like all these archaeologists would explore these different tombs and whatever, they would breathe in these things. They come out and they would die mysteriously. But it's like, nah, you're breathing in like black mold. Like that'll do it.
agree to disagree.
Yeah. But the Sphinx, so they think now they date that thing as being like 8 to 10,000, 6,000 years old. Like they put it in a similar time. No, they put it in a similar time period as the pyramids, like the Great Pyramids. But now there's so much evidence that of things on the Sphinx itself and around it that there's a crazy erosion. So it's like how do they have, like, there wouldn't be erosion because they know like the weathering patterns from the last 12,000 years since the end of the Pleistocene era, where it's like, no, they had a massive flood, and then 40,000 years ago, and we've talked about this with my holes idea, where the Sahara was all grassland. So they use like every 40,000, 20,000 or 40,000 years, I can't remember, I think it's 40, like something in the way the earth and the rotation, they just get crazy rainfall for 40,000 years, and that part of the world. So they think that the Sphinx has to be at least 15,000 years old, and that's the only thing that would explain all of the erosion on it. And they think it was originally a giant lion head, and then the erosion, and it was like this, like the Sphinx that we know is like version 2.0, where they like remodeled. So like some other, like the Egyptians came along and remodeled it and turned it into the Sphinx that we know, but it had been weathered because they used to get so much fucking weather.
Damn.
And now it's a desert. It's crazy.
There are YouTube videos where they like simulate what's going to happen to buildings.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Well, that was to me, that was the coolest thing about the Chernobyl, not the miniseries, but the doc.
Yeah.
Like Chernobyl,
it's a wildlife paradise now.
yeah, it's like completely overgrown. Those buildings are starting to decay. Like who knows how many years, but soon you won't even know if there was a city there.
Do you remember like it was like a famous, the Old Man of the Mountain in New Hampshire? You remember that thing?
I never saw it.
It used to be on their quarter. Remember all the states had their quarter? They had this Old Man of the Mountain, kind of looked like Abe Lincoln. That collapsed maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago. But it was a natural structure that it was like this giant, probably like the size of this whole room, like in every dimension, that looked like a face. And I remember reading about it. They were spending like so much money doing like repairs and pipes and, trusses, trying to keep this like thing of their state like in place. And it finally just gave way because that's what happens. everything just collapses. Like the weather and the earth and the sun, like all that stuff, it just like things aren't supposed to last forever. And that is like you're seeing in that park. I thought that was just like, oh my God, like everything is just getting overgrown. And I kind of on like a science level, I wish they would just like not touch it.
Just to see what happens.
Just like in 100 years or 50 years or what's it like? Are any of those structures still there in 50 years? Are they rusted out and falling down?
Yeah.
Be interesting.
It would. It would. It was like, yeah, so I've just been fascinated by it. And I wonder if there's got to be a good doc about like Bourbon Street. Because you guys been to New Orleans?
No, I've never been.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, it's the fucking shit.
Yeah.
It's
So
awesome.
cool.
Like, I want to see, I never really seen what happened to Bourbon Street during Katrina, which I'm sure was devastation, obviously.
But that's the one part, the French Quarter, that they want to fix, right? Like,
Yeah. But I never went before, obviously. So I wonder what it was like beforehand. Because there had to be big changes, you know?
My favorite thing about New Orleans is there's nowhere else like it.
Yeah.
Like you go to any other city and you can be like, oh, this reminds me of, Boston. This reminds me of Denver. There's nothing like New Orleans.
No.
Have you been all over? Because like I've done Charleston, Savannah.
Yeah, those are very similar. Awesome cities.
Great cities,
But New Orleans is completely different.
different than those.
Yeah.
Because they tell you that the architecture is kind of similar.
There is the coolest thing about New Orleans to me is it feels like you're in a movie every time you walk out of your hotel door because there's constantly music playing. There's live music everywhere, and it's good live music. It's not like Nashville, like fucking
Whoa, shots fired.
covers over and over and over. It's good jazz music everywhere. Yeah, the architecture's turn of
it's like
1800s, late 1700s,
Victorian, whatever. Yeah.
cobblestone streets everywhere, and the accents are just nuts.
Yeah, I need to go. I've always wanted to, but I've never had I don't
That's
know.
cool.
Yeah,
Especially, like, it's a great bachelor party city.
I've heard that too.
Yeah. Like, there's two rules. There's two rules. You can't fight, and you can't have glass bottles on Bourbon Street. Like,
But they
that's
have.
it.
Do they do? So like I know this. So they have the open container. They just give you a to-go
Tall
cup.
boys,
Yep.
everywhere.
Exactly.
Tall boys.
Everywhere you walk out, you just pour it into a cup and you
Yeah.
walk around.
Well, they have that in Savannah too. And I remember being like, "All right, let's close out," and the bartender being like, "You want a cup to go?" And I'd be like, "Yep." Like, is that a
Yep.
thing? Yeah. Like I actually will take that for this walk. Thank you.
Yeah, so if anybody has a good doc on that, in particular Bourbon Street, I'd be interested in watching that.
The whole Katrina thing is like Chief said. That was just so.
It's jarring
Depressing.
every time
It's
you see
awful.
it.
It's
Yeah.
awful, yeah.
I mean, you know it was bad, but seeing the visuals again is like fuck.
Yeah, like a good Katrina doc, like where like before and after, like I think that'd be pretty interesting. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one was tough. So I think you're at, like I texted last night, I think you're bottom of the totem pole now.
What was the previous low?
Dude, my Bloods and Crips one, which was also Amazon Prime.
This was better than that.
No.
What?
I don't think
No.
so.
Can I make another argument?
Sure.
This one was an hour and 15 minutes. That was 2 hours. Give me the point.
That is a good point. But like that documentary was just
I'm
was
relieved.
So bad.
I'm relieved of my duties. You're on the bottom now. But that brings up my next question. Is Amazon Prime just like
they released we were talking about this beforehand too. Like they used to have a treasure trove of documentaries, and they got so many complaints from both sides of the aisle being like, this documentary, it doesn't matter what the issue was. 'Cause I was telling him, like, I went on this, like, I do this where I just get super interested in one subject, and I was like, I'm going to learn everything there is to know about like the state of Israel, because it's like, it fascinates me. And there were like, I'm talking in 2019, there were like all of these documentaries about Israel. And I went back to look for one because there was like some interesting fact that I was like fuzzy on, and like it was gone, and so were all the other ones. So I like started Googling, and they're like, Amazon is taking out like almost all their documentaries. So anything that's like could be political, you know, like they had one about Trump that's been taken off. Like they're like trying to get out of that like space. So and that's what you're left with is like some shitty Crips and Bloods and some shitty Six Flags New Orleans.
What is like wrong with a differing opinion or people seeing another viewpoint of something, or just being able to disagree with something,
or even just like people, I don't know, like I feel like, yeah, like even when I was watching those, you know, Israel ones, I was like, oh, this is quite the slant, you know, like so it's like you have to be able to look at things and like take the good and leave the bad with any argument or any like thing you consume, but people don't seem to want to do that. So
that's every doc too.
A lot of people aren't smart enough, man. They don't realize that there's like,
how can that be a thing?
That's crazy, but people just take shit as gospel, man. People don't look into
I'll tell you one that blew my mind in a good way, which I've been telling you guys. I finished it. You got to watch the Blagojevich documentary on Hulu.
Yeah.
What's that on?
It's 4 parts. I thought it was 3. It's 4. It's on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
It is, he basically talks 3/4 of the thing. I mean, this guy fucking, he's like the loosest lips I've ever seen in my life on somebody. He just talks and talks and talks and talks. He holds nothing back. And they just do such a good job of showing everything that led up to, I mean, his whole political career, how he got into politics to begin with, through his wife.
Didn't know that.
She was the daughter of a super powerful alderman.
Okay.
He came to blows with his state rep and was basically like, hey, Rod, you want to run for state representative? And he was like,
sure.
Obviously.
Off to the races, huh?
Yep, off to the races. But it was just crazy seeing this guy who, you know, back then everybody was like, oh, yeah, Illinois governor, corrupt, fucking throw him in jail.
Like, what else is new?
Throw away the key, right.
Yeah.
But seeing him almost in this light where he was like human, you kind of felt bad for him, which is fucked up because he was guilty as sin. But the doc did a really good job of showing like this different side of him, and he's hard not to like. I'll put it that way.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I'm going to check it out.
Yeah.
We got to. I don't know if it would be good for that. I mean, it's so like, oh, I don't know who outside of Illinois would care, but maybe. I don't know. Maybe
yeah.
We'll see.
I mean, I do think that's like a thing that you could apply to like.
Yeah.
Every state has a Blagojevich, I feel like. Probably.
There's a great, I think it's part 3 that shows he went on like a PR campaign to clear his name. He went on like the Today Show. Mm-hmm. He went on like CNN. He went on Letterman. Letterman destroyed him. But yeah, everyone was just like, this guy would not listen to any advice. He was just going to do whatever he wanted to do. And he went down in flames. And then Trump pardoned him.
Yep.
That's how he's out.
Even though I say that, but I am going to start doing more Chicago stuff on the show, but in due time. But I don't know. Well, we'll watch it. We'll see.
It's great. You don't got to, you can spread it out like we can do it next month.
Yeah.
Watch like an episode a week.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right then. Boys, thank you. Sorry, we'll get a better one. That was just a fascinating topic for me. So
still a good talk.
Yeah, it was. Still a good talk. But yeah, that's it, everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you then.